Hello to you and welcome back to Adelante Chicago. I'm Lourdes Duarte. Thank you so much for joining us today. Bienvenidos. Let's begin with an organization that's really changing lives, with an estimated 7,000 children born with cleft palates or other abnormalities here in the U.S. every year. It's important to know about the help that's out there for them. The Face the Future Foundation is doing a lot right here in Chicago, and they have an event coming up, which they're here to tell us about. Rob Grant is the president of the Face the Future Foundation, and it's nice to have you here today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming in. You've got an event coming up, which we're going to talk about here at the end, but I want to start with this issue of cleft palates, and people have heard a lot about it, and I think sometimes they have a misconception that it's something that happens sometimes in South American countries, that it doesn't really happen here in the U.S. as much, right? And that's not true.
No, that's not true. There's a large number of children and people that have craniofacial anomalies, including cleft lips and palates. And even here, just in Chicago, the Craniofacial Center at UIC, which we help to support, provides services to over 1,600 patients per year that have certain, craniofacial anomalies.
Okay. What is a difficulty for a lot of these families when you're talking about a situation like that and you've got maybe a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, and you're trying to get them help? So where are the struggles?
Well, first of all, it typically takes multiple surgeries to do a full repair of some of the craniofacial anomalies. As you can imagine, if they're children, they get a surgery to begin the repair, but then they get older, the shape of their face changes, they grow, they need follow-up services down the road. So it's not just one surgery and then you're done. It's multiple surgeries. And then in addition, there are a lot of therapies and services that are needed around the surgery. So if a child that has a cleft lip or palate is probably going to need speech therapy or other types of therapies, and so that support is provided as well.
It's so much that we don't think about, right? I mean, when you talk about therapy and working with the parents and working with the kids together, I think it's something that a lot of us don't think about.
Right. So I got involved because my wife and I have a daughter that had a cleft lip and palate, and we adopted her 3 years ago, and she's had 3 surgeries to repair that, and that's a fairly routine anomaly compared to what we see some of the other kids that other kids have. They have more severe anomalies, and she needed speech therapy, and she's going to need other therapies as she goes along. So that really kind of opened our eyes to it.
How's she doing?
She's doing great. She looks terrific, and she's adjusting really well and doing a great job. Yeah,
that's wonderful. You talked a little bit about other issues that they have. I mean, I think cleft palate is what we're the most familiar with, right? Because it's what we see on TV. But there are other issues as well.
Yeah, there are much more severe anomalies that some of some children, and it's mostly children, are have to deal with that the Craniofacial Center provides services for. So, some like missing ears, or just more other structural problems with their faces that are more severe than cleft lips and palates, and are going to require a lot more services.
But that's just the thing that gets the most attention.
Right.
So by the time one of these children is 18 years old or reaches adulthood, how many surgeries are we talking about, and the cost, right? And the dollars. Insurance, not sure if it covers a lot of it.
Right. So what we see is typically a lot of the patients need about 3 services per year. So
3 surgeries, or
some type of a service. Maybe a surgery, maybe therapy, but they're visiting the center at least 3 times a year. And so as they get older, that all adds up. And you're right, the financial burden can be very significant, even for families that have insurance. They have high deductibles, or they have a lot of cost sharing that's required, and it's a significant financial burden. So at the Craniofacial Center at UIC that we support, they don't turn anybody away for financial need.
Okay.
So
let's talk a little bit about Face the Future Foundation and how it even came about. I imagine it's a parent who had a need and decided there's got to be others out here like me, right?
Exactly. It was parents and patients of the Craniofacial Center that got together and said, we need to organize and have a fundraising effort to help with other parents and other families that have similar needs. So it started back in the 80s, And in 2006, we formed a charitable foundation, and we've been raising money and helping out families since then.
Okay, so let's get to the big information, right? Which is the event that's coming up on March 25th. It's called the Disco Ball, and you guys put a lot of effort into this. It's a nice, beautiful event. It's at the Four Seasons Hotel. There's the information on your screen. 312-280, is that right? 1370. I can't see from far away as well as I used to. FaceTheFutureFoundation.org, and I will be the MC there that night, so I will be joining you guys.
We're very excited to have you. And yeah, all of the information about it is on our website, FaceTheFutureFoundation.org. You can buy tickets, find out other information. But yeah, it's our main fundraising event for the year. And it is on March 25th, so it's only a couple weeks away.
Good. Yeah. Good pitch. Good pitch. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.